Hello, welcome. I'm Bill Wake. We're here working on a small program that's going to be a calculator that takes into account inches, feet, and yards for use by a quilter, hopefully, a quilt maker. And today we're going to look at basically it's kind of like units. It's going to be part of it. But when you enter numbers and what happens with them, and I want to work our way up to getting in yards, feet, inches, as well as just simple numbers. All right. Okay, so Mudshark666 asked a good question yesterday. What if you enter multiple leading zeros? And let's see if we can run this thing. I think this introduces the broader question that we have the number you're entering, and we treat it just as the string in the display. And I think we need to differentiate what's being entered from what the display is, because this display could display what we're entering. It can display numbers that the calculator has calculated. And I think those need to be two different concepts. Now, I don't know, the simulator thing, I had like 6 versions open and it just opened another one. I closed some of them. All right. This should bring up our calculator. And we'll have a little display up top and the keys in the body. And if I enter numbers, okay, italics because they're being entered. So there's definitely some concept of am I entering? And then when I hit equals, it kind of commits what you've entered. And so I can't type another digit without erasing what's there. Okay, which that's fine. Now, the question was, what if you enter multiple leading zeros? Well, we don't object to it. Okay, because right here, we're not doing any evaluation when you enter these digits because well, let's just leave it there. You could, we don't. Okay. But I hit equals, you might expect to see 23 there, but you're not going to see that. You're going to see 00023 because right now we just treat the display as a string and whatever the value is, we leave it in there. So I think an early step we need to take is distinguishing the numbers being entered from the numbers being calculated, and then the display has to negotiate between those. All right. So I think what I want to say is when do entered strings get evaluated? I think that's what we're really after. Now, a lot of calculators, if we can clear, if you clear and you hit 000, it leaves just 1 0 there. I tried it on a couple anyway, and we don't have to follow that rule. But we could. Okay, I think what I'm going to say is we're not going to follow that rule. We'll just let you enter stuff, and if I think what has to happen is this stuff you're entering is a separate entity. The display is going to display it because it knows it's being entered. When you hit equals, I think that should turn it into a number, evaluate it, and then print the value that it evaluates to, which is plain 0. So I would expect 000 on the input, and then equals would turn it into a simple 0. All right, now, so this is I guess it's kind of a refactoring that we're talking about, although we're going to push things a lot harder once we get there. But so let's split out the notion of the display. We called it display in our calculator. Let's get that over here. I don't know if we need to look at key very much today. I'm hoping the key stuff is done. All right, so calculator has a display. Well, that's the number, that's the value that this widget, there's a text, well, it's really just a text, but we put a box around it so it looks kind of like a text field or a video display or something. But at any rate, this value being displayed just displays whatever display says. But I want to discriminate. Well, I want to say, let's see, what do I want to say? Well, I'm going to make this computed first. Okay, so let's see, what can we do? Trying to not break things while I do this. All right, so what I'd like to do is enter something like entering, and that's my string that's being entered. Okay, and I'm going to make it published, more for like if it changes, it matters. Let's make it private set as well. We're not going to let external people change it. And let's call it entering. This is pending. I think we'll leave it there. Pending of string. And it starts off empty. Okay. Oh, I always forget var for some reason. Okay. Probably because I've typed all this stuff. I figure I've told enough. Okay, now this is clearly no problem. Nothing's using it. Nothing's relying on it. All right, but the thing I want to do is... Well... All right. Still a little bit slow. And open another simulator. My goodness. I think when I switch between running and testing that I've invalidated whatever context it had and it has to start over. All right. So I would like this. I think I can make this computed, I hope. All right. What should your display be? Well, let's make it pending dot is empty. Is empty. If it is empty, then we just displayed 0. Otherwise, we're going to display pending. Okay, and let's see how that does. Oh, everything's going to break. Property wrapper cannot be applied to a computed property. Okay, let's take this off. And I guess everything that was displayed now needs to be pending. Although this may, I think we want to do that. Well, no, let's minimally change things. So display, and that's the only two. Okay, cannot assign to a property, right. Calculator cannot be constructed. What? I don't know if that's a real error. Okay, I'm going to push this a little more to what it was like before. Let's just make this be pending. And we'll start off string with 0. Okay, I think that's, well, it's not less change to what we did, but I don't know. It's a smaller step. I'm just proving I can do the smaller step first. Let's check that in. Introduce a separate pending object to hold entered numbers. Okay. Now, I don't know if this should be a string or what, but let's start there. All right. So now I want to make this, get this 0 out of here. So let's do that. So if pending is empty, we're going to display 0, otherwise pending. Okay. This should be no change because nothing ever has an empty string on it. Am I still running my UI tests? What's going on? Let's pause for a minute here. I don't have anything there. Let's see, tests. They don't seem to. Let's make sure everything's out of there. Oh, let's delete that. Missing. Save, I guess. I don't know. Execute in parallel is not really needed. Okay, let's try again. You can see we're up to 4 simulators already. Oh, now I have to rebuild. Okay. Okay, what do we have? Did it register? Okay, 8 seconds I can live with. All right. Where were we? Okay, so we got that. Now let's start this thing empty. Clearing it makes it empty again. And there we go. All right, so we made calculator display shows either constant 0 or pending. Okay, I can like that. All right, now 0 here. Well, I don't know how much I'm anticipating, but I can tell you, if we're going to do expressions, arithmetic expressions have, balanced parentheses and nested stuff. So that tells me they need a stack somewhere. I can probably get by with a simple value, but I'm going to not do that just yet. Or, sorry, I probably will just for now. All right, so let's reorganize this slightly. Put this up here. Okay. If well, how can we do this? It's values. I don't know if they're published or not. I guess changing them will change the state of the calculator, so they really should be published. Okay, so what I want is, I think I want a string. No, what am I after? I'm after the value. Okay, let's do this for now. Type alias value equals, I'm going to say int. We'll probably really use double, but first things first. So private set var, and this is values. I'm going to cheat a little bit here. Well, why should I? Let's just do value. Okay, so we're going to have a value of type value, and then for now we'll just initialize it to 0, basically. Type alias just makes a sort of anonymous type. Well, it's not anonymous, I guess. It makes a type name, but everything that it has, it takes from integer in this case. All right, so I've got a value, and now my display is, I would like to display the value if it's empty. And And let's do that. Put display value. All right, so it starts out empty. It'll display value, which is 0, otherwise pending. Okay. Now, I'll test this because I think we're still in this mode. Yeah, it's slightly redundant. I guess it's redundant, but we're going to fix it soon. All right, let's do a run. Now, I don't know if we've broken something. That's why I want to run it manually. Isn't that terrible? 77 equals, okay, we're good. I was afraid it was going to turn into a 0. Equals, okay. So it is showing it, and when I clear it should go to 0. All right. So now we're in the business of the display is either going to it's going to decide, do I display the pending or do I display the value? And that's based on whether it's got anything in there or not. All right, now enter. There's still something funny going on here. All right, because enter, it's changing already entering new number, but it's leaving it as pending. And I think that's a gap in enter, because what enter should do is it should convert that number into a string and make it the value and clear pending, I guess. Okay. Now, is that a neutral change? I guess it is, in the sense that, well, no. I can make a test that will drive that. I think the 0 situation is an example. Let's take this. Okay, so what I want to prove is enter evaluates pending value, pending string. Okay, and so if I enter 0, 0 and hit equals, my display should be 0, not 0, 0. Whoops, I don't need this. I'm checking it here. Okay, if I enter 0 twice, it'll display 0, so clear, 0, 0. Displays 0, but if I hit equals, it should go to 0. So that's the change I'm trying to engender, force out of this. And this test should fail if I wasn't clear. Why aren't you running? Okay. All right, and it came back 0, 0. All right, that justifies the next phase of work. All right, so what I'd like to happen is hitting enter should, it should, I guess in this case, it should evaluate the current string. Okay, so you hit the digits, we're still pending. We don't know that we're not pending until you hit an equals, say. I mean, equals is the only operator we support, but any operator would do this. So what should happen is the value, we would like the pending value to turn into a value object and be pushed in or given to value. All right. And so, well, I don't know. There's number formatter. I looked it up yesterday somewhere here. Does it convert strings to numbers or just numbers to strings? I didn't see anything that sounded like a textual numbers into numbers. Oh, they do convert textual numbers into numbers. Okay, so let's find that. Converting between. Number from string returns NS number. I don't know. Why do I want to go back to NS number? I don't remember what it does special. Let's see what it's got. An object wrapper. All right. Well, I can live with it. Okay, so let's make this NS number. I'll probably have to put that in. Oh no, that'll be okay here. Okay. Okay, so number formatter dot number yields optional number. From, well, we're going to look at pending. Well, let me do this in 2 steps. Let value equals formatter dot number from pending. Okay. Let's not worry about overflow and stuff like that for a few minutes. The number gets converted, then we're going to take it. All right, so I'm going to make this that, and then I'm going to store that in value. Okay, so value, value, well, let's just do that. Okay, and let me add to do handle improper input. Okay. Invalid. Let's not make too much morality out of it. All right. So we're going to, when you hit enter, we're first going to take the number formatter. Yeah, there's too many possible ways for this to mess up even now. You'll take the number formatter, you'll format the value as a number, and that's a string, we hope. Well, I guess it's a value, right? An NS number. All right. Now, that's a good step, but I think it should make pending equal empty. Okay, and already entering number is false. Okay, so we can see pending can be empty and number can be false or number can be true. So they're different concepts. Okay, I was worried about that. All right, so now we have the value, we take the value, we put it in the value field, we cleared the pending, so our display should pick up the value because pending is now empty. All right, let's run our tests. All right, so an entered value is converted, well, about an entered string is converted to a numeric value when the enter key is pressed. All right, and again, we'll run, but I'm pretty confident. Now, I don't know if this is getting complicated, but okay, 0, 0, 0 equals should turn it to just 1, 0. Yeah, great. Okay, so I've got multiple directions things are going. One is there's things that can go wrong that we don't handle. There's the notion of a stack that we don't embody at all. It doesn't matter if all you can do is enter a number and hit equals. And this value, we're treating it like NS number, but we said we wanted to do yards, feet, inches, and those are not NS numbers. They are the thing that's going to differentiate our calculator from lots of others. So I want to push on that pretty early. The stack, I think, we'll wait till we do arithmetic. And this error problem, I don't know, maybe we should get that going too. All right, but the step I want to do is I want to convert this type. I don't know, this is kind of a making room thing. Like sometimes you refactor to repair things that, you missed a duplication or you got a better name. Sometimes you say, the next feature would be a lot easier if I did this first. And I'm kind of pushing there. So what I'm thinking is let's make value be an enum. All right. So public enum value. All right. And then we're going to give it a case, and this is number, and it's going to take an NS number. All right. So this is going to upset some things like this. Okay. Let's make this value dot number. All right. And then down here, cannot assign number to value. So this is value dot number with this value coming in. And then where's display? That is probably wrong. Let's make sure. Yep. I think it printed value dot number of 0. Yeah, so it's not showing the value formatted the way we want. All right, so let's do minimal work on this. Well, I don't know how minimal. Let's say if pending is empty, well, let's make it a guard kind of thing. If not empty, then we want to return pending. Otherwise, we're going to return that. All right. That should still fail these 4 tests. Cannot find number. Number. Number from pending. Can I convert value number? Oh, yeah, we got to convert that. So, all right, that's the thing that's going to be different. All right, let's say if let contents, well, if let, yeah, contents, I guess, equals, sorry, if, let's say case let equals value. We're going to return contents. I'm going to call it a number. If condition is true, yes. Okay. So I want to format it. Well, let me do this. We'll straighten out once we get it over this hump. All right, so we got a formatter. Well, let's do formatter dot is it string? From a number. Okay, so this cannot convert value. Why not? Value optional type string. Okay. And let's do that. Okay, so cannot convert value of from a number. I gotta get an example. I'm so terrible with this stuff. I think I'm supposed to say dot number of something equals. If case let, yeah, dot something number equals that. Okay, let dot number of a number equals value. Okay, is that right? Equals result. Okay. Yeah, and this, let's return this. It's kind of a can't happen. All right, so let's, we'll get it straight, and then we'll get it working, and then we'll fix it. Okay, so it's a little bit of a weird refactoring as they go, but okay. So make value convert. Well, I guess we did make value its own enum type. All right, so that's the thing we did. Okay, so now let's do a switch on this instead. Switch result, switch value case dot number, let a number do something, which is this. Okay, that goes away. That can't happen, won't even be an issue now because the case is exhaustive. All right, that should be refactoring. You switch to get values exhaustively. Okay, next thing. Formatter, we're doing this all over the place, so let's just make one. Be done with it. I guess I can put it here. Oops. I don't know if there's a convention about published fields coming up earlier. Okay, so formatter is a number formatter, and then we can get rid of this too. It's not affected by things, so it's okay. I mean, it's sort of a pure function of its arguments the way we're using it anyway. All right, so that should be fine. All right, so we make number formatter and instance value. Alrighty. Now, okay, so this is not fully general yet. If we hit enter and there is no value pending, what's the deal there? If we come in and just hit equals before we do anything, right, there shouldn't be anything in the value string. Okay, so that's a test. Enter. Without pending leaves uses 0. I don't know if we can say it that way. So all we do is enter our equal sign, and we should still be a 0. Okay. I got a feeling this test is going to fail. Because I think pending's an empty string, and we're parsing it, and it's going to go like, I think it'll give us a nil, maybe. And then we'll, crash. Okay, yeah, that's what I wanted to put. All right, so I'm only going to do this value thing if pending, well, it's really not, but if not pending is empty, I guess that can come after it is fine. All right. So if pending is not empty, then we'll do this value thing. Otherwise, we're not messing with it. And we've got pending equal empty is empty. And so our display will just display value, which nothing touched, so it should be 0. Good. All right. So only calculate pending's value if it's not empty. All right. So that's sort of like the first simple crash we could deal with. The second one, all right. I am going to deal with this error handling case. Okay, what do we got? What have we done so far? Well, we switched calculator to separate pending entered string from display, and then we make display pull from either pending or value, and then the equals evaluates a pending into a value if needed. All right. Now, when do strings get evaluated? I think we've answered that question. Handle invalid input. That's a good thing. What if you enter multiple leading zeros? Okay, we can answer that. They go away when you hit equals. All right, now handle invalid input. I'm okay. Well, okay. Down here, when this happens, like this exclamation point says, I promise it will never be nil. All right. Now, I don't know what formatter.number does in certain cases, but I'm sure it can be nil. All right, let's pull up NS number formatter again. Okay, returns NS a number by parsing it. Turns a string by, okay. So if, let's see, how would we make that fail? I don't know if, it has a max, maybe we can do something like that. All right, let's, all right, so I want to say kind of what happens, overflow value gets, how about yields error? Okay, so I'm going to say, I forget how many digits. Is it like 18 or 19? Power of twos, yes. Okay, so 64-bit, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, I guess 19 for 2 to the 63, which is a maximum integer. Okay, so if we put 20, well, if we put 21, let's just make sure we're totally, how about 25? We'll put 25 digits. That's going to blow out an int. Is that going to work? Maybe not. Let's find out what Swift's max float is. Max double. Excuse me. There's no double dot max. Interesting. Oh, double dot grade 8 finite magnitude. Ten to the 308. Yeah, we gotta watch that. Okay, well, 308's the limit. If we put in 400 ones or nines, doesn't matter, that should blow out, right? Okay, so let's do that. Even if it's double, it's just not going to work. Well, 350 would be fine. All right, so 1 to 350 dot for each. Let's put a 9 in there. Okay. So that creates a number that just is way too big. And then okay, so my display, it has no number for each. Okay, my display then, if I put 359s, oh, come on. All right, if I put 359s and I calculate, I mean, I can create the string that long. Nothing's stopping us there. I hit enter though. It should not display 0. I think it should display error. And I don't know. We don't really have enough information to just explain what the error is. But I think we're going to we're going to define some sort of error possibility. Okay, so that's going to fail. Nothing will display error. Excuse me. Right, and it fails because this came back nil, and that's the way it goes. All right, let's stop that. All right, so calculator. This is well, if number from pending is nil, that doesn't propagate out. Number does not take an optional. All right, let's break this up systematically. Okay, so let temp equal, well, how about let possible number equals this. Okay, and then value equals, if possible number is not nil, well, if it equals nil, we're going to say value.error. Otherwise, we're going to say value.number. Formatted from possible value, possible number. Okay. Now, there is no value.error yet, so we'll have to add that. All right. So we're going to try to get the number converted. If it's nil, that means it was an error. Otherwise, it's a value with the non-nil number. All right. But error doesn't exist. All right. So let's add it. And then we should get a complaint that our switch statement doesn't know about it. All right. So if the value is error, let's return error. Okay. So our switch is now exhaustive, and I think I must have a extra blank line somewhere. All right, let's run those tests. Now I believe that should work. Okay, so let's make another test. While we're rolling here, test clear resets error. Now, can I force that value? I don't think I can. I made it private set. Yeah. Okay. What's extract method on this? Overflow value. In the calculator. Of the calculator. All right. Now we know it just all right, it displays equals. And if we hit clear, then it should display a 0 again. All right, now I think this falls out, but I may be wrong. No, it does not. Okay. All right. So calculator, let's see, clear needs to put things back where they were. Okay. So it's not setting values. So we set pending, we set already entering, but we didn't set value. I don't know if I can do that or not. Okay. Oh, well, that's interesting because I'm not doing it up here, am I? Oh, I am. Python number 0. Okay. All right. So we do have to be careful that clear takes any state and resets it, which seems like a perfectly reasonable thing to ask it to do. All right. Now, all right. So I think we've got what I thought would go wrong. Handle errors in calculations. Oh, good. All right. So this, I think, is going smoothly. This is okay. It's a tad complicated down here. Now, is this... Well, I would say this is really... I'm going to call a method for this. So what is this doing? If pending is empty... Sorry, if pending is not empty, it's kind of like I want to say evaluate or encode pending value. Because I think lots of things are going to have to do this. If you type 3 plus 4, when you hit the 3, that's fine. You're just entering your appending to pending. When you hit the plus, it should really attempt to encode that thing and push it, or at least in our case, write it to value. And I'm going to flip, I guess I'll run the test. Right, and let's make this a guard. Pending dot not empty, else return. Okay, makes this a little flatter. Okay. If it's not empty, return. Sorry, if it is empty, wait a minute. Yeah, I guess I'm making sure it is not empty with the guard clause. Okay, so we know it's not empty when we get down to the next stage, and then we do the stuff and make it empty. All right. Pull out, what was that called? Calculate pending value? Encode. Well, I'll say extract method encode pending value. All right. Now, what's the complaint here? Well, this is our content view test. Let's run that again. This seemed to be no. Okay, I'm gonna let it go, but we'll pay attention if it's. I think the issue is. Are we looking at the calculator at some point? I don't know. Creating this state object like this here. We pass it into the content view. That should be fine. I mean, we're not accessing any fields on it directly, so I think we're okay. Display, given content view, it finds it. Okay. Well, right. I guess the other one I was thinking, I wonder if we can get rid of this navigation. If I do, well, no. The problem is we're trying to navigate to a text field. We don't know its contents, so we can't use this. We can look for a tag, which is common enough. Where's content view? We may have put one in at some point. Well, we put an accessibility label. Okay, so I think we can find with accessibility label. Find view with accessibility label. Yeah, so we want to do this. At least I want to try it. Find view with accessibility label. And its value is display. Okay, I want to see if this passes. Nope, it's already unhappy. Oh, I gotta put that outside the string. Build failed. Cannot return classified view to return type text. Okay, if I make it classified view, then these are unhappy. Okay. Label display dot text. That puts it on me to make sure I don't mess up the type here. If I were to change this from being a text to being some other thing, this label would say it's the display, but when I try and convert it to text, it would blow up. But if this works, I'm happier with it because I don't like the old thing, like know that it's stored inside a stack as the first child. Oh, man. Okay. What's the deal? Search did not find a match. Let's make sure I did the label right. Accessibility label display. Is he no longer a text by the time he's all in there? All right, is there another find? View with ID, view with tag. Well, see, I know it's the first found. It's the first text because it's like the first real leaf object. I will try it. View type dot text dot self. Okay. So the burden I'm taking, and this is a problem with UI tests, right? The helpers here are dependent on the structure I've chosen here. And because I made the display the first text, I can just say search for text and it finds it. But if I decided I wanted the display on the bottom for some reason, it would no longer be the first. It would break it completely. We already had this thing, lazy vgrid. Well, grid didn't work. So we had to adjust and use lazy vgrid. You know, it's like, I don't like to change my view test to depend and influence the design over here. Ugh. And then the fact is the design changes over here are going to influence the test structure. I do some isolation so I don't have to check every place that does display. They all go through here and it comes up with the search that gets it. Okay, but it's a bit ugly. And we already had one weird conflict, right? Originally, we were doing a find with the text being 0, like instead of, it wasn't a button, it was a text object. And the display also had a 0 at that time. And so it came up with that instead of the button. Like, oh, that's not good. All right. But so I guess I would say we simplify access to display and tests. Maybe view tests. Okay, I think we're ready to tackle the thing we set out for, the first stage of this new thing. What I want to be able to say is 3 yards, 2 feet, 4 inches. Okay. And I wanted to say that like 3 YD, 2 feet, 4 inches. And then I want to be able to add them and all that stuff with them. But first we have to be able to just enter it and get it working that way. Now, I don't know. We maybe will wish we had done delete before too long. But I'm going to push into the yard feet stuff and then we'll maybe do delete. Okay, so handle invalid input. Well, we've kind of done that. I don't know if we've covered every possibility, but I guess we've covered anything NS formatter doesn't know how to get, and we deal with that possibility. Okay, so we want to do yard feet inches. I think we'll take a break first and then come back and see if we can develop something that will evaluate the way we want. All right, see you in about 3, 4, 5 minutes. Welcome back. All right. So, well, let's just jump into the test, I guess. We've got well, maybe this is a... All right, so should it be a UI test? I don't think so. I think... I think I'm going to say no. I mean, we check that we check that each button is hooked up. Maybe there's a test in there. But I think we'll push from this side first. Okay, so what we want, inches create, I'm not sure what I want to call this. It's a, how it creates value with units. Okay. Now I've been typing calc equals calculator enough. Let's take that out and make it at the class level. I think that will be okay. All right, let's run these tests. Okay, let's take it out of here. I'm doing them one at a time. I want to make sure I don't pick up some dependency, cross-test dependency or something like that. Okay, we seem to be okay. Okay, so if I say 3 inches, enter, calc.digit 3, unit, inches, and then calc.enter equals I'm expecting 3 inches. I think I like that lack of spacing. I don't know. Maybe I don't. I don't know what I like. All right. 3 inches should be, well, I should be doing that the other way, right? Okay, I haven't been consistent. All right, but we don't have a unit method. Okay, so unit, we need it on calculator then. Public func unit, value of string. All right, are we going to do anything? No, we're just compiling. And we should build calc.unit. Oh. We should build in this test only fails. Okay. And it comes back with, okay, it comes back with 3. It didn't blow up. So that tells us our number formatter is kind of happily grabbing the front values. Okay, but it sees a letter and stops parsing. Okay, so what's got to happen here? Well, I don't know how much I want to fuss with it. Well, let's just start with something. Okay, we'll just start with unit. And it's got a number inside, which is fine. Let's let that be the number of inches. Okay. So, I don't know. Do I want to? Okay. Well, let's do that. Okay. Whoops. Case unit. Let the inches from the inches. And I guess this whole thing, well, let's let, equals that. Okay, so we're going to print the inches. We've still got some error handling on the print on the display side. Let's make sure we don't forget that. Okay. Now, if we had created a unit, that would work. All right, so I don't know. Should inches push the pending value? I don't think so. I think this is really a question of conversion, is this stuff. That's gonna be a mess. I can certainly do the easy thing. I can say pending dot append value. Now that will, so we'll get 3in, and then when we parse it, I think that'll be I think we'll get our value without the inches on it. That's probably a step forward. Okay, so I'm expecting 3. Error. Huh. Pending is empty. Possible format number from pending. Interesting. Is this must be failing. I thought we checked a situation like that. Okay. This thing is going to get complicated. All right, so formatter.number is not happy seeing IN in there, is my understanding of this. Let's check. We'll just run it and check this one test. So when we hit equals, we should trigger convert pending. Okay, print pending. It's 3-inch. Yeah. Okay, so formatter.number does not like it. Okay, so what I think has to happen, well, I think we need to loop around. We're going to look for the digits on the front. And right now we don't do plus points. Okay, it's just digits. We could add point. We want to accumulate those into a number. Yeah, we want to incorporate them into a number and then attempt to parse the rest looking for strings. And if the string is IN, then we're going to create a value from it. All right. That's a lot of work for here. Okay, I'm sorry. I got to take another quick break. We'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, we'll come back again. All right, yeah, so formatter is not happy with this, so we got to do some work around it. Boy. Well, what we know is right now at least we have alternating strings of unit names and, well, text and numbers, probably forcing it to start with numbers, although we haven't really gotten into that. But I want to say 3 yards, 4 feet, 2 inches in that order. But you could make a case for saying yards, 3 feet, 2, and so on. All right, so we got this possible number. No, we got this pending. Okay, what I'd like to do is okay. Well, I kind of want to break up this pending into lists. I'd like to make an array of strings, and the strings are either a bunch of digits or a bunch of letters. Okay, the way to do that, I don't know. I haven't done the news regex stuff. Maybe it's the data start. Swift regex. And they have compile time stuff. Yeah, okay, you can create it sort of like Perl or whatever. Ruby. Now, I don't know what happens if I capture. Asking only digits. Well, that's certainly a modified regex. Oh, that's kind of a filter. Okay, interesting. Oh, it doesn't match. Okay, whatever. Let's see what else we can find. Regex builder. Yeah, this is the new feature. I don't know what happens if you try and capture, 0 or more. Word dot 1 or more words. Okay, let's If they're split, I could use name capture groups. Alpha. Match groups alpha. It's capturing them all, though. Okay. That's an idea. Well, this is the sort of thing we could consider. That doesn't look like Swift. Okay. All right. Let's take. Can I take pending, dot, split? Separator is a regex. Max splits. Omitting empty subsequences. Where separator is a function returning a Boolean. Separator. Element or user not returned. Yeah, that's not quite what I want. Okay, let's go back. Whoops. Capture 0 or more words. Name. I don't know. I want an array of captures. Let's try. Well, now why is this capturing 3 things? Whole match must come for free. Name and domain are the 2 captures. And what was the other thing I had? Regex. Value 161. First matchup. All right. Well, let's write the regex first. As a string. So I want 0 to 9 plus captured A to Z plus, I'm not doing mixed. And then this or this star. Is that gonna... Yeah, I don't know what that will capture. All right, so setting that first match. That's an instance method. Okay. I mean, I know I'm only going to use those, so it's not going to matter. Well, let's get string. So that's not on there. Setting is just a string dot contains. Yeah, maybe this will give me some. This is a great site for Swift stuff. Okay. So this doesn't look like kind of the modern way. I don't know. First match seems like, what do I do after that? No. Well, maybe I can use split. If I do it like this. Okay. No, it's not going to quite work, is it? I'm avoiding the hard work here, and it's not working. I was going to say pending dot split 0 to 9. Okay, so I've got the two things. If they were consistent, okay, so now, well, what's going on? If numbers is empty, so all they came in, they hit inch, inch, inch equals. What should it be? I guess it's an error. Okay. Numbers dot is empty. Value equals error. Else, we're going to do some stuff, and then pending is there. Okay, and actually, I think I can set this first. Well, no. Yes. Number from numbers sub 0. Okay, because I know numbers has something in its array. Oh. Okay. I can convert that to a string. Why is that not? What is the type of numbers? String subsequence. Okay. Now, I think this should not break our existing case. Our test will fail, but the others should be okay. Oh, I don't know how you say it. Dan A. Penny. Welcome. All right. So what we're working on is a calculator. Well, that's blowing up. Let's take this test out because it's a troublemaker. See if where we are is not messing things up. Let me just run it. I may have hopelessly messed it up, but we'll see. So the distinguishing feature of this is it's going to let you do yards, feet, and inches, so you can calculate with those English units. My wife's a kilt maker, and at least in her branch of it, they use inches still, and it's a pain because you want to get pleats in there, and you want 17 pleats in 14 and a half inches or whatever. How big is each pleat? You know, it just doesn't. It's not great on a regular calculator. You don't get a good answer. It's doable, but it's not great. Okay. So all we have so far is entering numbers, and you hit equals, and it confirms that number, except now I'm breaking it. Oh, I just have a breakpoint. Okay. It went from italics to not italics. All right. But what we want to do is say 7 yards, 2 feet, 3 inches, and have it come up with a value like that. So this is the first time we're trying to accumulate this stuff. Okay. And I think our test should pass. If I haven't, I don't think I've attempted to not break anything. Whether I succeeded or not, that will tell us. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so all we're doing so far is we're breaking up this string, and if there aren't any numbers, then it was some sort of error. Okay, so we'll do that. So If there are numbers, well, I guess the other case, this case is really if numbers.count is 1 and units.count is 0, then we just have one simple number, and that should be doing things this way. All right. And then now we're into the case that we haven't dealt with. So if I'll run this, nobody's looking for this right now, so that shouldn't matter. If I enter a simple value and hit equals, it should go through that. Oh, did not. Whoa. That's sorry. If numbers count, is 1 and units is 0. Let's make sure we're going through this branch here. Okay, so 88 equals, we're not. Okay. Let's stop here. Okay, let's print numbers. One value. Unit should be 0 values. Oh. Wait a minute. How are these both the same? Okay, pending is 99. If you split it with these A to Z's, it should take the whole thing 99. That seems right. Now this one, you're taking that same 99 and you're splitting it with any numbers. I would have thought it should come back empty. That is weird. I obviously don't understand split. Split the text from space. That seems like what I want. Oh, that's a space character. All right, here's separator, delimiter. Okay, he doesn't have an example of that. Turns the longest round elements equal to the given element. Separator. Oh, maybe it should only be a string. Okay, do I have to explicitly make it a regex? Oh dear. Why does that throw? There's try. Init yields some zeros. Dynamic capture list. I guess if I gave it a non-regex, it would be very upset. But once I go down this path of try, it's going to want catches and throws and all right, let's see what happens when we get here again. Okay, 77 equals. Let's take a look at numbers. Should be one entry, just the number. And units, 0 entries. Okay. So I think now this should work. Continue. Equals, yes. Okay. All right, now, if so, if they type 3 inches 3, that should be an error. I guess my test is not proving that, but let's go back to this. We were green with all tests. Now let's try it again. Yeah, I'll take that breakpoint out. Okay, one failing test, the one we expect. It's just saying 0. Okay, because it doesn't know what's going on. Okay, back in here, and we definitely need to do some refactoring. All right, so otherwise, what I want to do is zip units and numbers. Okay. So what that does is it takes the two lists and pairs them together. So when I run them, dot for each here, I can do something about it. Okay. And what this comes back with is a unit and a number. I don't know if I want to put them in that order. Let's put numbers with units. number and unit in, well, here's some regular expression or some action. Okay. String goes to nothing, cannot infer. I think I'm just not doing anything, so it's upset. That should. Okay, so now we'll get. Oh, no, it's not. String cannot conform to sequence. Zip of those two produces a zip2 sequence, which should. Well, for each should give me that. Maybe I have to be explicit that it's pairs. I didn't think I did in general, but no. Okay. Oh, no wonder. Numbers, units, number unit. Yeah, okay. That's my linter complaining. It's not a real problem. I need parentheses, unused closer. Right. Okay. I think I'm there now. All right. So I want to. Oh, golly. All right. We're just dealing with inches. Okay, so let's say if unit is inches, we're going to do something. All right. We're going to set value is value. Well, we got to get a possible number out first. Number is from string of number. Okay. And I'm gonna start by assuming it's okay. We'll deal with this shortly. All right, so I build up a number, and I'm going to say return value.unit, and we only count inches right now, so let's just return possible number. I need parentheses. Okay, unit. Right. All right, let's see if we're passing, and then we'll clean up some. Okay, so we'll see if this works. If I say 77 inches, ooh, I don't get that, equals. Okay, well, that's actually telling me something. It's telling me I don't have an inch button hooked up. Here's keypad, here's yard feet inch, no function there. Okay, so let's do that. And this is calculator.unit of calculator. Okay, so we're getting it's a closure method. When you call this key press with this label, it triggers this function call. All right, and run. Okay. That is progress. It's rough, but progress. Okay. Make inches work as units. Now, I don't know if I can get this thing to... I'd really like to unify these two cases and do all that. Okay. Also, I don't know what happens if you put like 3 inches, 3 inches, right? Let's try that. 3 inches, 6 inches. I bet we get 6. Yeah. Okay. In a way, I feel like it should add them up for us. That may be a lot to ask. It could be an error. Now, what if you said 3 inches, 4 yards, 5 feet? Like, I don't know, that seems bizarre, but acceptable. If you say yards, 3 inches to whatever, that seems odd. So this case, one number with no units, that's legit, and we want to keep that working. Because you could say, you know, I have 5 times 32 inches. Well, that's 160 inches, which is some sort of number of yards, 4 and change. All right, but this is the same-ish. This is probably true-ish. Okay. Now, if you said yards 3 feet 2 inch 1, I think that's as good as saying 3 yards 2 feet 1 inch. And I'm willing to match them up that way. Okay, let's try. Okay, this case is kind of a can't happen. That's why I'm struggling here. Because this case really triggers if the regex is invalid. If I left this brace off, I expect to trigger that catch. Okay, so 88 equals, boom, trigger the catch. Okay, and I'll just continue. It's going to turn into whatever. But really, I'm kind of trusting myself here. All right, so let's see. Does the regex builder make things better? Or maybe it's not a split. Okay. Let's see if we can figure out a way to make an error happen. So we had 3 inches, 6 inches. All right, let's make that test pass. Inches can accumulate. 3 inches, 6 inches. All right. And I think that should come back as 9 inches. Now we're in fuzzy territory as far as where we've worked so far. This test is going to fail. It probably returns 6 inches, I think we saw. Right? Yeah, 6 inches. Because it was kind of like last one wins, right? Because zip does this, whatever last inches comes in, doesn't matter. Okay, so let's make var inches equals number 0. All right, and now we're going to accumulate these. Inches plus equals possible number. And then this happens at the end. After the if, after the zip. Unit of inches. Okay. Is not coming out old decimal. What do you mean? Well, how do I add? Can I just say inches equals? I thought NS number knew how to add. Okay. NS number, and this should be an NS number. Okay. I thought I just looked this up and there was a plus and a minus and all those good fun things. Oh, I gotta do values. Oh, I gotta commit to a representation now. Is there double value? I thought you could add these things. Such a pain. Yeah, NS number is an old thing. NS is for next step, so this is from when they were still a next. Read-only properties. Okay. Well, let's convert it to double and do the math, I guess. Inches is double 0. And inches plus equal possible number dot double value. And then we're going to convert this back to NS number. Really? NS number, value colon. Okay, fine. I think you could have suggested that. Okay, we'll take a run. Okay, so 8 inches, 6 inches, 2 inches, 14, 16. Now let's make it 24 inches. That should be 24 inches. All right. Now if I do 4 inches, 6 equals, yeah, that's a problem. Okay. let's deal with that one. So I think we got inches kind of coming along. It's a heck of a mess. Right. So let's say digits and units must match or must correspond. 3 inches 6, take out this unit, equals, I want to see an error. And actually, you couldn't even let this be a 6. Like 3 inches plus 6 doesn't make any sense. So it's a type error as well. But this will fail. Maybe blow up. No, zip will say I only see 3 inches. Let's call it 3 inches. Yep. Okay. So the problem here is if numbers.count not equal units.count, then we've got an error. I can just leave that out. Okay. It knows it's putting it in value, so we can be a little less verbose. Okay. Right. This is kind of a can't happen. All right. Let's run this. That should pass. Okay. Okay, so check errors when not all terms have units. All right, now, I don't know. I kind of know, well, not kind of. I know this is messy right now. And I think, well, let's do a little cleanup. Okay. I think, okay, the first thing I see is every case of using numbers, we're formatting it with the formatter like this. So let's take that into account. Okay, so doing this, let's map them to that. One. Okay, what's the matter? Can I cover NS number question mark to subsequence string of $0. Okay, so $0 is the value here. Let's break this apart for a moment. Okay, numbers type should be array of string subsequences. If I take numbers, map them to formatter.number from the string of the value. Oh, hey, it helps if you use some braces in there. And let's format this. Split. Map formatter. Okay. So now all these things are already possible numbers when they get down here. So numbers sub 0 is the possible number. Okay. And if it's nil, it's an error. Okay. And then down here, possible number is just number. Okay, so what we did was we map numbers to NS number when we split them out of pending. All right, well, they're actually NS number question marks, right? Okay. Closure spacing violation, yeah, so. Okay. Now, I think we could I believe we could do some of this, right? If any numbers are overflows, then the whole thing is just bad. Okay, so, and if they are, then they've converted to nil, right? Because the formatter does that. All right, so if numbers dot contains nil, let's do it this way. Get the numbers. Okay, let's check them. If, well, we can clear this too. If numbers contains nil, then I think we're returning the value. We're just setting the value. Value equals error and return. Okay, so now this stuff goes away. Let's just number number sub 0. Okay, so if we've only got one number, let's make it, and no units, make it a number with that number. We know it's not nil because we checked all those up here, and that should be fine. Okay, so let's make sure that's true. Okay, so I don't know if these, I'm wanting to pull these error cases out as their own thing. Let's do that. I don't know. It's kind of a split, guard clauses in the middle kind of thing. Let's do it this way though. We'll return if numbers is empty. Okay. This if numbers dot count is greater than 1 and the counts don't match, that's an error. Okay, so that's this case. Okay, so I'm trying to pull them all closer together, pull the error cases closer together and pull the non-error cases closer together. Okay, so pull error handling closer together. All right. It's still a big messy method, but I think we can. This lets us work with it a little more. Can't happen if split reg x's are legal. Okay. Now this. Well, I'm kind of ready to go to the next case. Put feet and yards in. I don't know. Let's do it. So this now is going to take one number for each of those cases. Yards, feet, inches. Okay. This is yards, feet, inches. Okay. Inches. Well, let's do yards. The yards. Feet. The feet. Inches. The inches. All right. At this point, it's still sure. Nothing will create these, but we have to make sure everybody's using them correctly. So there should be a syntax error. Yeah, there we go. Let's put in S number 0. S number 0. Okay. Anybody else? All right, let's see if that's still good. Okay, so add yards and feet to dot value dot unit. Okay. 324. We're not going to get very far here. Let's. Who does display? Where is that? Well, okay, that's a nice little refactoring. All this stuff is really characteristic. It's from the value. I don't know. We're. I don't think it's unreasonable. All right, but like this, everything about this is about the stuff that's in value. It's nothing about our object. So I'm going to move this up. Public function as string. And I don't know. How do you want to do that? let's make it a property. A string, and that yields string or of string. Okay, make sure that builds. No. Formatter. Okay, should build. Return value dot as string. Okay, and I like that better. That enum itself is switching on stuff. I don't know if the formatter decisions are quite properly there, but it's better than here, I think. Assuming it works. But what that means is I can test that function by itself, which is what I'd like to do next. Okay, so I want to give it some, well, I think we're due to pull this out. Let's make that refactoring. New file. Value. Don't need this stuff. Okay. Oh, I do need that stuff. Board foundation. Right. Okay. Well, we still have this. Okay. Let's put that in. Track down purple errors on view tests. Okay. Well, we allow entering feet, inches. Sorry, that's what we've done. Okay. So those two warnings, I'll take that as a warning we'll deal with later. I'm worried that the view stuff is not able to work the way we got it. Maybe not able to work. They've gotten stricter about some of this state object stuff. Okay, so we moved as string into value, made value a separate file. Okay, and then I want to create value tests. We won't do anything with it. Okay, and 0 is probably a good name for this. Let's make a test that we'll make a value assert equal value dot unit. I think I can say 0, 0, 0 dot as string should be 0 inches. Okay, and that might actually pass. That should pass. I think we're going to break it later, but it'll pass for now. All right, and that'll give us a place to stop. Maybe I'll do my rare thing and leave a note in here, but test value as string. Okay, we need error number and mixed units. Okay, we will stop there. Thanks for joining. I will be back tomorrow, Thursday. The week's almost over. Thursday, 2 to 4:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, or 6 to 8:30 p.m. UTC. We will continue with the units, but I think we're pretty close to supporting them directly. We've still got a little error handling and a little bit of finagling to do with it, but they're coming along. We've almost got them in there. And once we do, I think the operators will go pretty quickly and we'll make some progress. We will track down that error and see if we can work our way around that. All right. Thanks for joining. Hope you have a good evening. Bye-bye.